All right, you guys ready?
There's some really great readers out there. I can help you. Ted. Don't worry. I just helped my friend buy some glasses.
She can help all of us. Okay.
Married with 3 kids. I don't need any help for anything anymore. The white flag got raised a long time ago. All right, you guys.
No, that's what you need to keep trying.
Oh no, I'm good. Y'all have fun.
Well, let yourself go, Ted. Let your
okay. And then
that's what he does. He drops some shit like that and then he just leaves. So that's pretty much typical. Okay.
The Hollow Bunny. And we all feel hot.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Hollow Bunny Leadership Podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Kristen Zeman and I am here with my fashionable and feisty co-host, Sylvia Moyer. We are both former police chiefs. Yeah, see, I pulled that right out of my butt today, right? It's apropos. It really is. We are both former police chiefs, but the Hollow Bunny podcast is not just for cops. No, it is not. This podcast is for anyone interested in talking about life and leadership, particularly the lessons that we have learned about both. Well, and today I think we're falling more into the life column. And these lessons fill up the Hollow Bunny, metaphorically speaking. So let me tell you who's filling our bunny today.
Tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you. Her name is Sarah LaMont, and she is the founder of Y Style. She is the senior stylist, and she is here to give us a little intel on the fashion world. And you don't need as much help as I do, but she is here. She's here to help me, you with your beautiful blazer. And so Sarah, welcome to our podcast. And I don't want to make you nervous, but
you should be
millions
terrified.
of people are listening.
That.
You should be terrified.
You should be just absolutely terrified.
I am. I'm hiding already. Just hiding in my closet right now.
We had a lot of high profile guests that we booted to get you on here today.
Like who?
So I think it was who was it? Anderson Cooper, and we just said no, Anderson.
Sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, I'm sorry. We have someone more important now. We need to know about fashion.
That's right. And so, okay, let me just kick off, Sarah, with I just want to tell you a story about why I wanted to talk to you because we have both been cops our entire careers, our entire adult lives. Yes. You don't have to think a lot. Yes, you should be. You don't have to think about what to wear. The beauty of that profession is there's your uniform. I mean, unless you're doing a suit thing when you get into the executive level. But, like for 25 years, I was like, what do I wear today? Oh, polyester. And so wool. I've never had to think about it. Wool, yeah, polyester. Wool, yeah, you're right. Wool, very itchy. It's just terrible fabrics.
Just the worst.
The worst. And so when you mentioned Banana Republic, it's funny because when I did wear civilian clothes, and now I do all the time, but I would go to BR and I would buy, the same pants, or as you call them, slacks, or Sil calls them trousers. But I bought like 5 of them in different colors. I bought my crisp button up in the same color. I went to J. Crew and bought my V-neck sweaters. Like I buy the same stuff of what I like. And I really am scared to get a little sassy with it. So, and fast forward, and I retired, and I have the great privilege of standing on a lot of stages and delivering keynotes. So Sylvia said to me, you need custom suits. You need custom suits. I go to Nordstrom's rack and I buy the suits off the rack, and I'm a little shorty. I'm 5'4". So I just go and I get those bottoms hemmed and I'm good to go. And she said, you have to go get custom suits. So we were both speaking in LA together on the same stage, and she dragged me to her seamstress in LA. A lot of money later, I purchased
a lot of joy, money, joy.
Yes.
Both those things.
The abundant choices you had, from buttons to liners. Come on, sister.
All of it. And I didn't even know there were choices in making, like the buttons, the collar, you name it, all of the things. And I reluctantly, actually, I almost threw up in my mouth when I ordered the suits. That actually happened. And then they showed up, and I take it all back. It was like this thing that came over me, and those other suits were like, this was tailor made to me.
Yes.
And it changed my whole outlook and my confidence. And it's like, when I walk on that stage now, I'm just like, whew, I feel great about it. And this is why I wanted to bring you on, because this is what you do for a living. So I'm just tossing that out there. And then I want to know your start story. How and why did you start doing this, helping people, figure this out for themselves?
I feel like why is a great question, because it kind of happened organically. Like I didn't think when I graduated high school, like, what I should do is I should go to college to be a stylist. Like I didn't think that was a job. I just love fashion, and everyone in my family is creative. My mom's an interior designer. My dad's an architect. I feel like my early childhood education kind of led me in this direction. So when I was a kid, I'm like a little nugget, and my immediate family is all kind of plus size. My little sister has had a breast reduction. She is like taller than me and just super curvy and Marilyn Monroe. And I'm like a little toothpick. I'm just like, oh my God. But they never knew how to dress. They didn't like enjoy fashion and experimenting. And like, they didn't really find the fun in it. They just thought it was stressful. My sister was like, I can't find any shirts to wear. My mom always felt like she wanted to cover her belly, like that kind of a thing. And when I was a kid, I was just the one that liked it, and I would dress everyone. And it was really kind of cool to be able to see both like dress people who didn't look like me and help them with their problems. Cool. And then also see that like light that you were experiencing, Kristen, like when you put something on your body that feels authentically you, like this is how I want people to see me. You change. Like you stand up taller, you're more confident, you're more fearless. And it really is like, not armor, but it's like a tool that you can use in your life. And I always just knew that and loved it and experienced it myself. When I graduated college in graphic design, I couldn't get a job to save my fucking life. Like I was like out of college.
First fuck, listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's
Drop
like my
it
favorite
like
word.
it's hot.
Like it's hot, sister. You couldn't get a job to save your fucking life. Bring it. Keep going.
Couldn't get a job to save my fucking life. Second one. And it was like, they just wanted to pay me like $20,000 a year to like pick colors and like earn my stripes. And I was so annoyed, and I was so like probably a little prideful about it. And I decided that I was going to do freelance. And then I got hurt and I needed to like have insurance. My mom was like, what the fuck are you doing? You need to go and get a job with insurance. And I was like, oh, Mom, you have no idea. She's like, you should go work at Nordstrom. And I'm like, I've got a college degree. Like, how dare you? Like, I don't need to be a stylist at Nordstrom. And my mom sat me down and said, like, you've been doing this forever. You're going to really love it. Just go do it for fun and like make a little extra money and still freelance. It was the best decision. Like my very first day, I got a job in the Petite women's department. So Kristen, you're 5'4". You're right on the top of the Petites. How tall are you?
Same. I'm a petite. I'm a P.
Yeah, 5'4".
Yes,
so
ma'am.
like I learned about like those women. I was in Seattle. Those women like couldn't buy anything. Like they were like 4'11". They couldn't buy anything off the rack. They had to alter everything. It was like a new education. I've been dressing plus size people, but now I got to learn to dress petite women. And my very first day on the job, I met this couple. This woman was going to a wedding. She was 4'11". She couldn't buy anything. She was like almost in tears. Like, I want to feel good in my body. I haven't been able to find anything. I fit her for a bra. I got her like undergarments. I got her a dress. I packed her suitcase for the whole weekend. I got the husband a tuxedo. I bought him a martini. I was like all day long, made like 10 grand, like, I sold 10 grand, and they were like crying, thankful. And I'm like, this is a job. Like, I never realized that some people thought that fashion was fearful or like a hindrance. I always thought of it as like a way to express yourself and like a fun experience. So there was like a light bulb went off. I also almost got fired that day because I wasn't on my floor. I was like in the men's department drinking a martini with a guy, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you need to like cover people's lunches. Like, you're not answering the phone. I was like,
that's so Will Gadara, isn't it? We're going to talk about
it totally is.
For the record.
Who's Will Gadara?
Oh,
he's a restaurateur. He's the owner of the most famous restaurant in New York City, but he wrote a book called Unreasonably Hospitable. Yes. And what he talks about basically is going out of your way for the service experience. And that's what you did.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, okay, so you're now bound by the confines of corporate America at Nordstrom's. But also, can I just, for just 1 second, I got to pull the thread because you just said there, like, you encountered people like who saw getting dressed as like is a stressful hassle.
Yeah.
And you're able to see that or take that stress away from people and help them. And that is, I mean, that's such a cool thing because that's how I see it. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know what to wear. I don't know what looks good on me, And so I just love that mindset that you have. So then now you're confined by corporate America. And so then how do you transition into screw this? I'm not working for the man. I'm going to go out and do my own thing.
It kind of took me a while. Like I wasn't raised a lot of money. I really loved the security that Nordstrom gave me. It was good benefits, good, 401k, all that kind of stuff. And I was getting a salary. So I felt really good. Worked for Nordstrom for 10 years, I think, actually. I would go to stores and start styling programs. So eventually Nordstrom kind of like saw my potential and was like, instead of being on a floor, you should be a stylist. And when I started growing is that they would put me in charge of other stylists. And then I eventually went to stores and like that didn't have a styling program. And I would recruit and train people to do what I did as a stylist. And then I would move on. And through that, Nordstrom moved me to Naples, Florida, where I'm based now, to open a store. And I thought that was going to be a stepping stone to grow with the company. I was going to be a store manager. I was going to be the director of styling for the company. Like I saw all that grandeur. And when I moved here in 2008, the market crashed and my husband decided to change careers. He was in real estate and he decided to go into physical therapy. And so I was kind of like here for a little while. And while I was here, kind of two things happened. One, I had no idea what Naples was. It's like a little bubble of wealth. So I saw all this potential for spend. Like so many people in Seattle, people are much more budgeted. Here, they were not. And so people were just like, oh, that's great. I'll take 5 of them. And I'm like, whoa, I had no idea that was a thing. And then secondly, there were so many people who didn't care about other people. So the stylists that I was hiring, they were like, styling is going to be so much fun. Oh my God. And then they're like, my feet hurt. So can I go home? I'm like, no, you're in the middle of an appointment. She won't care. We're not meshing. I'm like, oh my God. So I would end up developing these clients for people because lots of people just didn't care. Like I was really shocked by how few people thought of styling as the other, like they didn't see the person in front of them. They thought, how would I dress if I was them? They weren't asking the right questions. They weren't like, where do you go on the weekends? Like, are you married? Do you have kids? Like, what's your 5-year plan? Like, what does your weight do? Like, what are your fears? What do you not like about your body? All those questions. They would just be like, how much do you want to spend? And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So I just saw potential,
Okay, so
and that's what
I have like 2 comments and then 473 questions, I think. So
yeah, I know I talk really fast too. I'll slow down.
Sarah, this is so cool because I think we look at your work, we look at how we dress, how we present to give us confidence and standing and appeal to the audience we're in front of. So it varies, right? I do want to point out that when I gave Kristen advice about what to wear at the Naval Postgraduate School, she didn't buy me a fucking martini. She didn't take me to lunch. There was nothing but this, I get to be in her front row. I guess I win because a martini would be whatever. But now we're in each other's lives. Okay, so I'm going to forgive her for that. Right?
Your grievance is noted, though. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think you over a martini.
So I have this really interesting thing, right? So for a lot of our listeners, we're in this environment of law enforcement, right? It's a business. And when we dress, my suits and having my suits made came out of the utility, the necessity, because I was at West Point with a guy who was a dear friend. And he said, Silly, I could not get a pantsuit at that time that had a belt loops and that I could put my pistol on. So I had my pistol, I had my badge, I had stuff I had to carry. Always have to have a pen, the trusty pen. So it came out of necessity and utility. It then came into this space where I felt really cool about the expression of it. And so I think there's a real way to combine both. And that's, I think, what you're saying. It's not just about the vibe, the zhuzh, the presence, but there are things that you could advise your people on by getting to know them a little bit better. Is that?
Yes.
And what they do and like how active they are and all those things. So I want to talk about that. And then the most essential item in every person's closet is the tan trench, the trench coat, an underutilized, but
Is it?
the most essential piece in any woman's closet ever. So let's hit
Is
that.
that a question or a declarative
It's
statement?
I think it's
declarative.
a
Like you're
declarative
that
statement. I think it
Yeah,
was a declarative
you're
statement.
very absolute
I
about that.
am.
But yeah,
Come
and
on,
because what
Sarah.
you're saying is that what I also love what you say is like almost like even an interior designer that walks into
Yeah.
someone's house
Yes.
and then tries to decorate their house, in the coastal because that's what they like, and instead of getting to know the person, do you like traditional? And it's the same thing, about dressing. Is fashion, is for different skins of the different flavors
Mm.
of all
Yeah.
of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that so many different facades of us. So talk about how like it sounds like a very intimate one-on-one experience of getting to know a person, and then tell us the steps that you take. So then do you go shopping? Like, do you just take like, how does it work? If somebody comes to you, how does the whole thing unfold?
These are all such great questions. I am going to circle back to Sylvie's
Yeah.
statement. I believe like firmly, like I feel like my dogma is like fashion style happens when fashion meets function. Like I do not
Oh,
believe that there is just, oh my God, trenches are the trend. And so I'm going to buy 4 trenches, but I live in fucking Florida and I will never wear sleeves for 5 months. So like, I think that is kind of like my business kind of brand. I feel like you can be just as stylish on Friday night as you can on like Sunday morning or Wednesday afternoon. Like I want you to be functional. I don't want you to feel fussy. I don't want you to feel like you're wearing a costume. I want it to work for you, and I want it to be stylish. I never want you to be like embarrassed to bump into people when you're at Costco and you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to see that person. Like I want you to be like, I look really cute in my athleisure wear because this works for me and this is my life. So I feel like that's why I started my own company working for a department store. They just want you to sell more. So no matter how good you are or how good you are as a stylist, you could always sell the person more. And I didn't believe in that. I wanted to be able to help people have like functional wardrobes. I want you to wear every single thing in your whole closet. I don't want you to just have, this is my new outfit, and then I'm just gonna stock it away and I'm gonna buy something new. What was the other question that you asked me? I just wanted to follow up on Sylvie's statement, Kristen, but I'm going to get lost. Oh, the steps.
Steps. Yeah. What are the steps? And so this is also, I'm going to weave this question in there too, and maybe you can answer it kind of twofold. What about the people that don't know their style? And so,
I don't think many people do know their style.
that,
I think that's
yeah,
like the
that's just,
majority of people.
yes. And I had this woman, I didn't even tell you about this,
uh-oh.
but the last conference I was at,
Yeah.
I got done, and if like I'm always so grateful when people wait afterwards and they want to talk to you. So I had, a couple, 5, 6 people standing, and she was the last one, and she makes her way up, and I thought we were going to talk about the content. And she said, tell me about your suit. And
Ooh, that's a compliment.
Yes. And still had, I got like some classic suits. I got 3 classic suits, your gray, your blue and black, and they're patterned, but then still said, now get one that's sassy. So I got this plaid blazer and these matching
It's hot.
trousers,
Ooh, slacks.
and I was wearing that one. And she said, I am struggling so much because, and this, I ended up talking to her for about 25 minutes, and
Wow.
I was honest with her. I told her, I said, I really don't know. I sort of stood there, and this lady went, do you like this? And I was like, okay. And she's like, I don't know my style, so I don't know what to do. And so maybe kind of interweave that as like, what are the steps that you take so people can, determine what it is what their style is. And then how do you go from there?
Yeah, my company is called Why Style because I ask the question why incessantly. I'm constantly asking people why. Like, I only wear black. Why? Like, I don't want to wear sleeves. Why? I want to know the why behind everything. And I want people, my clients, to understand why they're wearing what they're wearing. I think it all bases in function. So that's kind of why it's called Why Style. The first step, and I think the most important step, and the step that most people skip, is the existing closet. Before you go out and you're like, let's experiment, I wonder what my style is. The place to start is not in the store shopping. The place is in your existing wardrobe. Where have you been? What size are you? Why do you own 17 black pants? Why do you own 15 suits? Get into that. And then of that, what do you wear and why? Like, why do you always go to the same pair of jeans every single day, even though they're dirty in the dirty clothes hamper? Why do you have to wash those leggings every single day because they're the only ones that feel comfortable at the gym? Like, those questions are so key in building a foundation for your closet. And through those questions and like digging into a closet, I call it the closet clean out. People sometimes confuse me for an organizer because I'm constantly in closets, but it really is because I'm asking all these questions while people are naked in front of me and pouring out their soul.
Wait, why am I not a stylist? Kristen, why are you not a stylist? Who knew a college degree and badassery and fashion and function could be nudity? Does your
We
mother
did not
know
think
she
this through.
steered you into being in a closet with naked people?
Oh, yeah.
Your mother's a
Oh, yeah.
monster.
My mother is
not
fantastic.
think
I
this
really
through.
have to credit my mother for all of that I do. I also think it is very like interior designer, architecture, like it's all very similar. So it's like I almost came from that side of it into fashion. I didn't come from the trend side. I grew up with very little money. I would like make my own clothes. Like I came from the artistic side and the like why side as opposed to the I love Louis Vuitton, so I'm going to wear Louis Vuitton. So anyway, the best place for people to start in their closet is in their, or with their style, is their existing closet and getting all the shit out that like really isn't serving you. Often we keep things in our closet because we think I should wear it, but there is no should. Like you should just wear what feels right, what works for you. It should not be hard, you know? So I think that's where people should start. They should really be honest with themselves. And often it's kind of in my graphic design background, like taking large abstract ideas and making them into a simple visual statement. Often the best place to start is like ask yourself questions like, if you're a mom with 3 kids, will you ever dry clean anything? No, you want it all to be fucking washable. So that eliminates all of that. So we're going to only focus on things that are easy washable fabrics. We're not going to iron anything. We don't have time. So we're only going to do things that can be steamed or thrown in the dryer. That eliminates a ton of stuff. Okay, I'm fluctuating in weight because I just got divorced and I'm really, really thin right now, but I might be gaining weight later. So, okay, so we're going to lower our budget a little bit because some of this stuff might be disposable. Like all of those real life things steer you into what you should be looking at. And then from there, you could then go, I hate the color blue. It reminds me of my grandmother, so I'll never wear it. Okay, cool. Then we're going to focus on green. Like all those little small details then become evident. Does that make sense? So like, that's why I think it's so important to like have a dialogue and understand the person's life, because that tells me what their style is. And then I can guide them into that and show them what will fit for their body shape and their proportion, you know, and then we kind of experiment. And sometimes we fail. Sometimes I'll sell something to someone and they're like, oh my God, I got out of the car and it wrinkled so much I couldn't wear it. Great. We're not going to sell that brand anymore, but at least you tried it and you know why you didn't like it. Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like,
so it's not just trend, you know, it's like real.
That is so cool because you're connecting with people and peeling away all the stuff that like somebody thinks they should do, thinks they should have.
Yes.
That's rad.
Yes.
Like I hate having an untucked shirt. It drives me fucking batshit because I've spent my entire career tucking in my shirt so I have access to my pistol, and I am so uncomfortable, and it looks so cute on Kristen. So I try to untuck and I'm like, I look like a frumpy, uncomfortable asshole. And she's so cute.
Uncomfortable asshole.
Like, what is happening? And
I didn't know you felt strongly about this disparity, but yeah, because I'm an untuck, even in my suits, because I like to see the shirt kind of pop out of the bottom. Like I just like that. I just like that look. I think it's a little disheveled, but a little sassy, but it's the look I'm going for and I'm sticking with it. But
it like makes you feel more approachable. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally do. And you know what else?
Fuck that.
You know what else that
I didn't say it to you. I said it to Kristen.
Fuck approachability. I don't want anyone talking to me. How do I dress so no one will speak to me?
Don't
That's
flash your pistol, look them dead in the eye. Don't walk away.
And you know what else you kind of did for me too? Because when I, like first thought of your job and what you do, I thought it was genuinely for special occasions and events. But you're talking about finding your style for Saturday mornings and casual evenings, you know? And so that is not something that computes with me. It is like, you know, I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Your style is just, I guess what I said earlier, I'm kind of answering my own question, you know, but it's about, you know, the different colors of our lives and ourselves. And so that is our Saturday morning when, you know, we're going to the farmer's market, and that's when we're hanging out and we're going to Costco. And it's also when we dress up and, you know, we go to the 5-star restaurant or the major event. So there's just so much more to it than a special event, but that's what I thought it was.
Oh yeah, no, I think a lot of people think that. I think a lot of people think that I'm trying to break down the judginess of being a stylist. Because whenever I tell people I'm a stylist, the first thing they do is apologize for what they wear, without a doubt.
Come on.
They just immediately feel shame. And I'm like, oh, that's horrible, because that's like that's not what my business is founded on at all. It's about like uplifting and being yourself and being authentic and experimenting. And they don't know that. They just assume, because I think fashion is really judgy. I think that it's like exclusive little club. And a lot of us, I mean, women and men included, don't believe that we belong. And we're like, it makes us nervous. Like, what's going to happen if I try this? Will it fit me? Will it be too expensive? Well, I don't know. So they always apologize. And then they assume that I work with like 5 billionaire clients and that I just follow them around dressing them for all of their black tie events.
Don't you?
Actually, I love that image. That's so cool though.
I do have some, but Sarah, I don't only do it.
We kick those assholes out of our podcast for you to be here. So they can
That's right. That's right.
So this function and fashion thing is so interesting. I recall I was a police chief. I was wearing a suit with just not a blouse, not a shirt like this, which is just traditional, whatever, but like a little silk thingy. And so I had this nice little necklace on to kind of accentuate, zhuzh it up a little bit. And I was out to coffee with my second in command, and an armed robbery came out. So we rolled. We were so close to it. And I said, go over to this spot. If the guy was fleeing in this armed robbery, he and I said on the radio, we're rolling. We're in plain clothes unmarked. I was at this one spot covering this corner, which is some cop talk, took out my pistol and I leaned over and I went like this, and it caught on my freaking necklace. And I was like, this is never going to happen again. Caught on my necklace. Yep. I ended up holstering my pistol, and I ended up just grabbing the guy and throwing him to the ground. It was
well, that's pretty badass.
Well, there was a badass moment where one of my new officers looked at me and said, oh my God, like that just happened. But the thing that did for me was, in that moment, I would never again wear something dangly that would compromise my ability to safeguard people, to intervene, to do right. And so there's this fascinating thing that you have highlighted about function and fashion. Mm-hmm. And I think curating this palette, this array of things for people that really does that, but might just elevate them for wherever they are serving, whatever audience they're in front of, is a really cool thing. And some people might bristle at this idea of, we're going to wear, gold lame everywhere or some shit. I just think this is fascinating, and you're demystifying this for people. And at the same time, for men and women, it's saying something about how we show up in the world. And just putting a final point on this before you address this, I've never wanted to be like super bougie. I just want to look put together. Like put together.
I think everyone does.
Okay.
I think everyone does. I don't think that people like want to go. I think a lot of people just use that like, oh, I don't care, as kind of an excuse to give up. Like that, like it's almost like a fear mechanism, like a defensive mechanism. Like, oh, I'm just wearing this because like it's fashion. I don't care. I truly see that as like an insecurity, like people who've never had an experience where they feel good in something and they're just kind of like, oh, it's not for me. Like they shun it and they demonize it because they are nervous about it. They haven't had that experience that you've had with a suiting where you feel like powerful and whatever. Men and women both, I think our hardest places to shop for or like to dress for are not necessarily like on stage like you, Kristen. Like you can go, okay, I want to be powerful. I have a very clear idea of what I want to portray. I'm going to be speaking about this topic. I'm an ex-cop. These are the things that I want to, show up as. You have like a limited amount of options, right? But when we're like going to Costco on Wednesday afternoon, there's so many options, and there's just I just feel like we just like give up. I have to, men wearing cargo shorts and like some college t-shirt with a hole in the armpit, and like women wearing disgusting sweatpants because they're like, I'm fat and none of my clothes fit and I'm just wearing this to Costco. I feel like that's where we could really up our game. And if we upped our game there, it would give us so much more. I feel like we wouldn't be fearful to like just keep going out in the world. You wouldn't like want to hide. I don't know. Like a lot of people, women especially, hey, do you want to go get a drink? Oh no, I'm in for the night. It's like you're in sweatpants and you don't know what you're going to wear. So you're saying no, you know, if you were just like felt good and could just like throw something on and be like, oh, I feel good. You could think of all the things you're going to say yes to. It's like,
that's literally me. I'm in my pajama bottoms right now, and to have to go decide what I'm going to wear. Okay, so
like, oh, I've got to blow dry my hair. Fuck, no, I'm not going to go out. Sorry.
Yes,
like,
all of the things. That is so true. Like,
Yeah.
okay, still, you do really well when it comes to we both travel a lot.
Yeah.
And when Sil gets on a plane,
I can imagine.
like she's got the blazer going on. You look super cute. You got your flats, and
you look cute now.
You got your crisp jeans,
Your
and
haircut.
yeah. And so then I travel and I used to do that. I used to get on with a blazer, and now I'm actually kind of at this weird place because I'm always delayed. There's always, so now I just throw on the ugly sweatpants and the comfort stuff.
No.
But I need to change my mindset because I need to go I need to get cuter on the plane.
You are.
you do.
You make a
Yeah.
hoodie look like the coolest thing ever. I'm like, she is so put together and so trendy and so cool. Come on.
I don't even want to sit next to you on a plane because you're just, so no, I need to up my game on the plane, but it's all comfort. So like, I need to rethink that because I literally put on, my tennis shoes and, my Nike with the pockets. Cause then I have to put my phone in there for my boarding pass. So it's like, for me, it's function, but I could get better at that because then I don't ever want to see anyone. Like when I check into the hotel, I'm speaking at this conference. I literally put my hat on because I'm like, I don't want to be noticed. And I really need to change that because like I'm going there to speak. I know. Yeah. So
Like,
I'm
who
just
are you
thinking
sitting
out
next
loud.
to on the plane? Who is seeing you that you don't even know?
Yeah.
That's like
Oh.
clocking you.
Imagine.
That's a whole other story. Okay,
Sarah,
I'm not going to give too much away. Sarah, do you know that Sil is the queen of meeting people on airplanes? Just
The queen.
who she's never met before. She strikes up conversations. One of them was called Southwest Bob because
he's
she met
amazing.
him on Southwest, and he actually came on our podcast. She invited the man back to her house. It
Not
wasn't a
that
naughty
night.
thing. It wasn't a naughty thing. It was just it was
make it
just
weird.
yeah.
She just
I'm
made it
not.
weird.
I know. I'm just saying it wasn't a naughty thing, but you meet him, and then just recently she struck up a friendship. I'll just leave it at that on an airplane, like just a nice person that you met, and it's just. But this is what Sil does, and here's me. I just put my hat down, and I don't want to talk to anyone.
Oh my God, you guys. Well, there's every personality is different. So like, I have a question. So why suits?
Okay. So
Are you still professional? Are you still working as a police chief? Okay.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm in the biz. Yes. And I just like a jacket. Like I'm in training right now. So I'm at lunchtime for training. So I'm just in casual trousers, pants, slacks, bottoms, whatever we're going to call them. And just
Okay.
something that doesn't distract from, but there's also some utility. I want to cover my business.
You want to cover
Your
business.
I think it looks, I don't know. It just,
Well, I'm like, as a police chief, I'm imagining you guys are like in a predominantly male
yes.
environment where you don't want the femininity to become distracting.
Yes. Look,
Yeah.
so I've got my navy blue. This is just a sport coat, but check out the liner.
Yeah, so that makes you
Oh, yeah.
happy.
Magenta, so I've got a little yeah, it gives me ultimate joy. So
Okay.
it's function.
So little flares help you.
Yes. And then
All right.
Okay.
What?
And monograms. Okay, how do we feel about monograms, Sarah?
I love monograms.
I fucking love monograms.
I love
want
monograms.
a monogram. When I see a person with a monogram shirt, it's so deliberate. And I used to be really judgy about them and think they're very pretentious. And then I changed my mind and now I am that person. But every time I see a monogram on someone, and so on the suits that Sil talked me into getting, they've got monograms and my name is on the inside of the blazer and it is so sexy. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's nice. It's like a little secret just for you. It's like in your coat and you're like, no, I'm wearing something really expensive. Like, try and fuck with me.
Okay, so Sarah, so my niece told me that I'm like spirit animals with Marie Kondo because how I fold my things, are you familiar with this idea? That you take everything out. I'm hearing from you, and I think I need some Sarah in my life here. I need to take everything, right? And we'll tell people how to find you, Sarah.
Love that.
So I'm going to take everything out of my closet. I'm going to say, okay, is this the message I want to send? Do I love it? Does it spark joy for me? And if yes, I'll put it back. But I keep like a lot of these things as, maybe I'll wear it someday. Where do you land on that?
I don't believe in that. Like, I honestly think that we could all be, I feel like we all fall kind of in a spectrum of true minimalist. You have 15 items of clothing, you wear them all the time. And then when one dies, you buy another one.
Oh my God.
Or like,
apoplectic.
Like just a little panic attack. And then on the other side of the spectrum, the other extreme is just having a massive amount of choice. So one day you wake up and you want to wear a navy suit. Another day you want to wear a pink ball gown. Another day you want to wear black leather. Like all of the options should be available for you in your closet.
You just described Ted, Kristen, and I.
Totally. Wait. I'm going to put him in the pink ball gown. Oh. Okay, cool.
Hey, listen, what Ted. He does on weekends is his own business.
So we all kind of like fall somewhere in the middle, but I do believe that we feel a lot of pressure of like, we spent money on it. Why aren't we wearing it? We should wear it. I kind of touched on that earlier. I don't believe that there should be any emotions like that in your closet. I think it should be function. Like there are things that maybe you don't wear because you're nervous about wearing the color yellow, or you're nervous about this and you've not experimented with it yet. And that's when kind of playing and allowing yourself to make mistakes, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to hate your outfit for one day and you're going to learn a lesson. That's not the biggest deal. So maybe we like play with that, but I don't think you should have half of your closet or 3/4 of your closet be, why aren't I wearing that? I should be wearing that.
That's my closet. Yeah.
It's just too much emotion. It should not, it should be the easiest thing we do in the day is wake up and get dressed. Sometimes sorry.
No, I was just going to say, when you're searching for your style, is it best to, because we all are built different. And it's like, what I do is I look at, on like the models and I'm like, oh, I love that outfit. So then I buy the outfit and I'm like, this looks stupid on me. But what's the best way then to kind of develop or, it's got to be by looking at, at outfits and pictures and catalogs, if there's catalogs anymore. But like, how do we even begin to see what the things are that we gravitate towards, what our style is?
Okay. Well, the first step is to like think about your lifestyle, like what works for you. So, I'm in fashion. I could wear whatever the fuck I want all day long. I could show up in a pink ball gown. No one would blink an eye.
Not if you're climbing the rope. Not if you're climbing the rope at CrossFit. You do not show up in a pink ball gown.
What do you think about my clean hair, Kristen? Do you like it?
I know it's so. I know it's so clean. I love it. But you're not climbing a rope in a ball gown. It's just not happening.
No, you're completely right. But like in my day-to-day work, I could show up in whatever the hell I want. But functionally, I'm in people's closets lifting bags, carrying racks, carrying garment bags, like on my feet all day. So I'm not going to wear anything that I want. I want to wear flats mostly, or sneakers, or comfortable shoes. I'm like wearing a pair of jeans right now because I'm sitting Indian style. This is what I'll be doing in my client's closet in 2 hours. So I need to be able to like flex and move. So I think that the first thing we should do is think about like what we actually do in our day-to-day life, and are those clothes, could we wear those clothes comfortably? Like, is a necklace going to get stuck on a gun? Then throw away all of your long necklaces. You're not going to wear them.
Yeah. We broke up. The necklaces and I broke up. So
exactly.
Sarah,
so that like function is the first thing. But the second thing is your body. Like being honest about what things about your body you like, what things about your body you want to camouflage, like where your waist is, like getting in a good, like where your boobs are, being aware of like your body shape and how to flatter that. A lot of women, I think, try and fit themselves into, I saw this on a mannequin, I saw this on a model, and they were wearing it like this, so I'm going to wear it like this. But they carry their weight in their ass and their hips, and they can't look like Cindy Crawford. So that outfit's not going to work on them. So it's like being honest about what you want to highlight and what you want to camouflage as well, which I think is really hard for women to be like really honest about what they like about their bodies and what they want to show. I think we're really easily critical about our bodies, but you know.
Oh, but then you go into a whole other can of worms, and this is me. I mean, I've got two daughters, and both are fashionistas, and
Oh, cool.
they were both just here visiting in Naples, and I will rarely wear shorts, nor will I
Why?
wear, because I have tree trunk legs, and I've got like big calves, and so they made me try on, she's 25, and she's like, try on this little airy dress, the dresses that have like the shorts built in underneath.
Yeah.
And so they made me try it on, and they're like, you must wear it out. And I did, but I was so uncomfortable. The reason I bring that up is because they're like, no, we would tell you if it looked bad. This is you, it's in your mind. And so I really do, that's also a problem for women, is like, it's like we're so overly critical of our bodies, and I'm 50 now, and so I'm like, oh gosh, should I wear that at 50? Should I cut my hair? And my daughters are like, no, do whatever the fuck you want. You keep your hair long and wear this little skirt, and your calves are fine and they're big, and love them, and I'm like, oh God. So it's like, that's the struggle that we have, is we just want to cover everything up. And, it's about, of course we accentuate what's good, but we're so critical to a point where it's just counterproductive for us.
It hinders us.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We just decided we want to hide, and like, oh, I'm over 40, so I can't wear short skirts, or I can't show my arms anymore because they're flabby. And it's like, oh my God.
Right.
This is a hard topic as a stylist to talk about on a podcast, because it's so individual.
Yeah.
Every single woman's body is totally different, which is what makes us so great. Like when you like are really like own your own body, you can look so powerful and so beautiful, like out in the world, if you like really just like, embrace it.
Own that shit.
But it's really, really hard to talk about it
is.
like in a general state, because everyone has different things that they could, work on and whatever. And like lengths of shorts, that is like so individual to every single woman. Like your legs are probably amazeballs, Kristen, because you're a buff ass little woman and you're constantly working out and you're like, really cute and adorable. But I bet you the length of the short would be super important on the way that you're able to function in the world and the way that you're able to like shine. And also like, are you going to wear heels? Are you going to wear flats? What kind of flats look good with a short? All that kind of stuff. It's like, it's so individual. That's where that's why I think everyone should have a stylist.
And
it's a little like therapy. It's like therapy for you. I'm sure at some points when, like when people are like, this is where I hate my body. And then it's like, now you're getting into this, a mental space, so it's not just about fashion.
I think it's therapy for everyone, even if they love their bodies. I've had so many experiences where women and men, honestly, have come out feeling like seeing themselves in a new light, like trusting me, putting on what I tell them to put on, and then coming out, and they just start crying because they see it. They're like, I've never seen myself like this. I've always wanted to feel like this, and now I do. And it's like, it's simple. They just had to like, take the leap a little bit, but
that's
I don't know.
cool. So
that's what I like about my job.
Right. And it's so amazing because you can make them feel like $100. Like I am unapologetic about, I like long sleeve shirts. I wear long sleeve shirts in Naples because since I was a little kid, my grandmother said we have Irish arms. That means they go straight down. Like there's, I don't have a gun show like Zeman, but I'll rock my legs out. Okay, cool. So I just think being unapologetic about what makes you feel extraordinary, and then trusting someone like you to say, this looks good on you. This is individual to you. This is your style, is so liberating. I have a question. Where do you land on this? I set my clothes out top to bottom the night before. I have since I was a little teeny kid. So it's almost like if there's a call out, if something happens in the middle of the night, I have an outfit, right? So I set it out the night before. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? Undergarments, everything.
Oh my God. I love your vibe. I feel like you're such a cop.
I know, I am. This is true. And so I do that. And some people say, well, how are you going to know what color you want to wear tomorrow? How are you going to know what? I check my calendar and I know the vibe.
It's a spectrum.
Where do you land
it's that spectrum
on
that you were talking about.
Should you dress to how you feel that day, or where do you land on setting it out the night before?
I think it's an individual question, but I do think it's important to like prep clothes. I call it a lookbook. Like I create a digital lookbook for a lot of my clients. We just lay out, 150 looks for spring, and then they can just scroll on their phone to figure out what they want to wear depending upon. So that's incredibly helpful for anyone, someone who wants to experiment and play with their clothes a little bit more and doesn't want to just stay in their own like uniform. Also helps for someone like you who's like, I don't want to think about it. I need 5 minutes to get ready and I want to know what I'm going to wear. So I think it's great for you that you lay out your clothes, but you could also do it digitally and like prep in a quiet time, you know, like, oh wow, I never thought about putting these two prints together. Plaid and floral go really well together.
Oh,
You could do like
love
these prints together. So you could do that and just lay it out and then just have it on your phone, which I think is super helpful. Um, a lot of people lay out their clothes the night before, but weirdly, when they do that on their own, most of my clients say they change it in some aspect the next morning. I do not know the psychology around that, but that is a fact. Like, it's weird. People are like, I don't feel like wearing those cargo pants today. I want to wear a dress.
Sarah.
It's like,
I maybe
goes
done
back to
that
what you're
twice
saying,
in my
Phil.
life. I maybe done that.
but
twice in my life.
you're like
Yeah, you
super
are very-
OCD. You're like,
Oh
I
my
made a
God.
decision. We're sticking to this
Yeah.
decision.
Yes, you just diagnosed her correctly.
I just met you,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah,
I totally
you've
see why
diagnosed
you
her.
do this.
What is
She has the
happening right
packing
now?
cubes. Everything is in its
Yeah,
place.
the packing
yes,
cubes.
Sarah, let me ask you just one question, completely off topic. Do you
Ooh,
make your
yay.
bed? Do you make your bed when you wake up in the morning?
Yes.
No, I'm a fucking hippie. I'm a hippie.
Oh my
I
God.
wouldn't
Oh,
even do the dishes
oh my God.
if I
We've
didn't
gotta
have to do
go.
the dishes.
Oh my God, we've got to go. We've got to cut.
We've got a bad connection.
There's a bad connection.
You were perfect right until that moment. Oh my God. You know, this
Look
is
at she
gonna
just
get-
fell off my
Sarah,
pedestal.
this
She
is
just fell off my pedestal.
when you try to apply to be one of Kristen's front row, you know this is going to reflect. You're going to be sitting in the mezzanine. That is what the
It's fine.
fuck?
It's fine. Do you?
I
It's fine.
was
Do you,
raised in a household where it was like no chores and are we
No.
having fun yet? And let's just like do an
No.
art project until 2 a.m. And
No.
my husband actually is the clean one. He bleaches the floors, cleans the toilets, makes the bed, does the dishes. He's
We love
amazing.
him.
And I
okay,
just
so this works. All right, we
And
can
I
still
just
hang
tidy.
out. We can still hang out. We can still go out for brunch and have our Bloody Marias.
it sounds like you need me in the mix to kind of,
Yeah,
you know.
I know. Yeah, to
soften
unwind
it.
us. To unwind us. That's exactly right. Yeah.
But I do hang up all my clothes and color code them every single day. So maybe there's an area
Oh.
where I feel like that.
Oh, so now you're speaking. Yeah, now you're speaking our language.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm OCD in
that's
some
good.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Sarah, I think I already know the answer to this, but as we talked about, this is the metaphor for our podcast. It's called the Hollow Bunny because
Oh, yeah.
this metaphor is about, we've encountered so many people in life that, they're just posers. They lack
Yep.
substance. And so the metaphor of the Hollow Bunny is, what fills you? I certainly don't want to answer for you, but it's like all of the things that I hear is that you get great joy in bringing out the best in people. I mean, and that is like such a substantive fill in the bunny. But what
Yes.
else would you say? What is the substance that fills you, that makes, the hollow bunny for you?
I think that you hit the nail on the head with that. With my job, what gets me up in the morning and what makes me try so hard every day is gifting that feeling of confidence to other people. I love that I feel like that, and I just want everyone else to feel like that. So when I'm in front of someone, I'm able to educate them and give that to them so they can have it forever. That brings me tons of joy. It totally fills my bucket and allows me to, get up and go to work the next day. I also absolutely love my family, and I'm constantly obsessed with my family. So that's another thing. And I work out like a mad dog. I don't think I could do what I do if I didn't work out. I do CrossFit with you, Kristen, but I'm obsessed with Muay Thai kickboxing. I did a cage fight when I turned 30. I love working out. Yes,
Yeah.
I love fighting, actually. I've been a fighter for 18 years. I don't even say not a professional
I get that
fighter,
vibe. I get that vibe. You're scrappy.
I like being
very
scrappy.
scrappy.
So I
Can I
guess
ask you a
that's
question? Do you work out because of how it relates to fashion and wearing things and how it makes you feel? Or is it a mental thing? Is it all of the above?
My family history has a lot of depression and anxiety in it, and I definitely have inherited that. So on top of being on medication for anxiety, like I have been for a while, workout helps me clear my mind and puts that calmness back in me for sure. But I think, so that's what started it. But what keeps me going for it is I like the feeling, especially as a woman, to feel capable. I want to feel like I could just, I want to be capable until that's what keeps me going. I want to be like able to move. I want to be able to do the things I want to do. I don't want to have to rely on other people to be able to do physical things. I like that, being a woman, especially.
That's awesome.
That
right?
is beautiful.
I want all of us to do this. I want all of us to feel like that.
Absolutely. And I love that how fashion comes into it. So, I mean, I'll
Probably
land the
part of
plane
that.
here, but totally. But thank you
I
so
don't
much.
wanna
Because, well, it's
break
about
up.
confidence. I know. I don't want to
want
leave
it to
either.
end. I seriously
We don't
want
have
it
to
end.
break up.
Okay, we won't
good
break up,
day.
but we'll end the podcast.
So you're just all or nothing, aren't you? You're just all or nothing.
I don't know.
We can maintain here. We can maintain this relationship.
And
And
think about putting those outfits together. Think about doing like different combos with your suits. Like maybe instead of doing the night before, maybe do like 7 days. Maybe do it like on a Sunday and do like 7 days out. See how that feels.
Okay.
See if it gets you out of your like normal. I'm curious what like your Thursday and Friday outfits will look like if you plan them out a full week in advance.
Please,
just
God, tell me it doesn't involve a polo shirt. For the love of Jesus, it's killing me. I'm like, I don't want to wear a polo shirt and boots today. Just not.
yeah, I'm actually relieved
No,
that
don't
those
worry
are
about
out
it.
of my life. Yeah, polo shirts. I've walked away from those.
Did you guys have to wear those for work?
Yeah, it's like they're training, it's like polos are so law enforcement centric, and so unless you're on a golf course, like I don't even wear a polo anymore. So yeah. But
Sarah.
listen, here is my biggest takeaway is that it's about confidence.
Yes.
It's about how you feel in your own skin. It's about loving your body, and it's about the way you show up in the world. And part of what you wear is an extension of that. So that is my biggest takeaway today. And Sarah, thank you so much for coming on our little podcast that millions of people listen to. We've got so many sponsors. They're, Fortune 100 companies that,
it's not going to be Costco.
Yeah, definitely.
Better be Costco.
Yeah,
right. We're going to wear.
Yeah, you brought up Costco like twice.
Yeah,
I love Costco.
Yeah, so thank you
Kristen,
so much.
Thank you for inviting me. I felt very honored to be included in this. This is a really, really fun conversation, you guys.
A delight.
Thanks.
Yeah. Where can we find Sarah? Where can we find you?
Sarah, where can everybody find you?
Okay, well, I have a website. It's ystyle.us because I'm a cheapskate and I didn't want to pay a lot of money for the .com.
For a .com.
And I'm on Instagram, ystyle_Sarah. You can follow me. I do tons of like pro tips, and I do like it to know it. You could like shop off of my Instagram. It's really easy.
Okay,
and fun.
so why like WHY?
Why like the question why? As my mother would say, why not? Why style? I'm like, oh God.
Why not? Okay. I love it. Why style _Sarah on Instagram.
Why I like the
why
question.
Style _Sarah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
go find her. Still follow her right now. I want you to follow her right now. Get your phone out and follow her.
And before you do the close, Sarah, tell everybody on our podcast what a badass Kristen is in the CrossFit box.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Amazing. She could wear a bag and look amazing. Like she'll zhuzh it up.
True.
And tell us how fierce my sister is here.
Super fierce. We're your sister. She's a total badass. She lifts like twice as much weight as me. I'm like on the bar doing like a little girly bar. She's over there like smiling, like lifting a ton of weights. And she's always so positive. You are so positive, Kristen.
Yes.
You're like talking to everyone. Everyone's like dying. And you're like, how you doing?
No,
good?
I'm crying inside. Crying inside. So you need to get off the cold medicine because you are high on cold medicine, but thank you. I think
I'm a truth teller.
That.
Truth teller right
All
here.
right. Well, listen, you guys have a wonderful day. Go move about the world in your sexy fashion and just show up in the best possible way.
Yeah,
hey, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up. Ted Madden produces this podcast, and the song that you are about to hear was written and performed for this podcast exclusively by my very handsome and talented son, Jake Zeman, and his friends, Fabian and Zoe. If you like the podcast, please subscribe, like, review, and tell everyone you know about it. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And if you don't like the podcast, what the hell do you know about podcasts anyway? Just get the F out of here. Keep filling your own bunnies and keep adding substance to others. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.